Hey, how's it going, everyone? Today I want to talk about the STAR method and how you can use it. Primarily, I've been coached on using it and way how to structure my answers. We're using this method for job interviews, but I think it's a number of cases that everyone can use that for. What is the STAR method and why you should know about it? The STAR method is a widely used technique for answering behavioral interview questions, especially in the job interviews. It's acronym that stands for situation, task, action, and result. The STAR method helps you to structure your response in a clear and effective way, making it easier for interviewers to understand your experience and evaluate your qualifications. Here's what each component of STAR method entails. Situation: describe the context of situation you were in, provide the interviewer with the background information about the scenario you are going to discuss. This sets the stage for your response. Number two, task. Explain the task or challenge you faced in that situation. What were your expected to, what you have expected to accomplish? What goal were you working towards? This clarifies the specific objective you were trying to achieve. Action. Detail the action you look to address the task or challenge. Describe the steps you took, the decisions you made, the stages you employed. This is where you highlight your skills, expertise, and problem-solving abilities. Result: share the outcome of your actions. What happened as a result of your efforts? Were your actions successful? Did you achieve the desired outcome? Be sure to emphasize any positive impact you had, and if applicable, qualify the result, i.e., increase sales by 20%, improve efficiency by 30%. Using the STAR method helps you to provide structural and comprehensive answer what showcase your abilities and accomplishments in a clear and organized manner. It's particularly effective for behavioral questions that often starts with phrase like "tell me about the time when" or "give me an example of." This question aims to assess your past experience and how you have handled a specific situation, which can give you interviewers insights into your skills, problem-solving abilities, teamwork, and more. Uh, Brief history of how I've been coaching using this method and answering questions. I guess it depends on where you are in life. At least I would recommend to know about this and what kind of salary you're looking to get, I guess, and how you're approaching some of the problems and what kind of job interviews you're looking to have. If you're looking for high paying job and you are worried or you don't know not necessarily how the interview gonna go and what kind of answers the people gonna ask and how you approach this. I had to sit down a long time ago and I've been told about the best way and structure to answering some of the questions. I wish I knew that way before that coaching session. Nobody told me about that, but there's actual structure and method of answering those questions. You just need to. I have interviewed a lot of people, and I can tell where they are within their career and where they're going, and I can't stress this enough how important you at least understand when someone asks you a question and what they are looking for. Particular structure, how you should structure your answers, and what kind of things you need to be demonstrating with your answers. Uh, just to know how basically that comes with experience and over the years. If not right now, within the years, you understand clearly what that is. For now, at least, if you familiarize yourself with STAR, method, I think that would be very valuable insight of if you see yourself perhaps in taking on more responsibilities, having perhaps a different job, if that's something that you're interested in, how to have those job interviews and what to expect. If I'm having to, and I'm talking with someone who's just recently, they're still in college, I guess, or they just finished the college, and they not necessarily had a lot of job interviews. They are coming to job interview just interested, perhaps in finding a job, making some money. I guess that's why everyone starts a job. And if they didn't have a lot of job interviews, that not necessarily naturally comes to them how to answer those questions. I guess if there's any takeaways from overall today's video, that would be how to structure those answers and the reason behind asking anyone who's asking those questions, the reason behind those questions and how those answers should be structured. I don't know if I should use examples, but briefly, if I would use one example, if I ask a question of some IT engineer, can we work on this project? Where you see yourself? Some of the very basic questions, I guess. If that person gives answers something that he sees himself moving to a different country, he heard from his friend that there's a lot of opportunities within that country, which is great, but not necessarily those answers are structured in a way, in a very professional manner. And that's, I guess, that's the difference between if that person is going to be picked for that position, even if that person is talented, there's no real reason why that person shouldn't be picked, just because there would be a large pool of candidates and there would be 100 or even perhaps more of them for that in particular position. And if 10 of them answer questions using STAR method, and other 90 was answering questions just to answer those questions. There's a big difference. That's from my personal experience. Once you start talking with a lot of people, you can tell who understands what and how they structure those answers. And that's my personal experience. So that's real life. Yeah. I wanna recommend my book for those who haven't seen it yet. It's a game strategy. Uh, I would highly recommend for everyone to buy it. You can find it on my company's website, or you can find to be offered by different distributors, including Amazon and other places. It's a great book for anyone who is interested in perhaps better understanding business and how to have a business, how to run your own business, and look into how perhaps more control over your time, your capital, your income, having a hold of your personal life. That would be perhaps health, fitness, how to structure your day, briefly talking about that, how to think about business, where to begin, where to start, what you should know about that. Great book. I'll share a link in the description for anyone who's interested. You can reach out to me if you want a signed copy. Yeah, reach out to me, send me a message. Definitely gonna be sharing at least 100 copies with signed copies of my book. Thank you. If you have to begin at somewhere, then you're looking to reduce your risk. Since starting your own business can be a lot of risk, either way, if you're running a company, if you're looking to be a self-employed person, perhaps you could begin by reducing your expenses. Then perhaps if you can increase your monthly income, you can begin with a job which you are doing right now. One of the ways to do it, that's not necessarily the best way to do it. You can either find a better paying job or perhaps take on more responsibilities when you're a job within the next 3 months. If you're gonna have a work review, you can express your interest in having more responsibilities when you're in your current role, and then potentially That's one way of doing it. They could give you more responsibilities with your current. Usually they can, depending on the company where you're working, but usually they can very fast. It depends of your attitude when it comes to work, I guess. But other than that, usually they can give you more responsibilities within your current role, and you can start with that. Try it, see if that's gonna work. If not, you can craft shining CV, which would potentially land you a lot of job interviews, right? That's the other way of doing it. It just depends on the current company where you're in, if that's where you see yourself in within the next 5 or 10 years, I guess, if that's what you're looking for. From there, ultimately, most likely what you're trying to achieve, increase your monthly income. With interest rate, with all inflation, with everything, everyone should at least be motivated to increase their monthly income before perhaps venturing in to pick up second job, if that's what you're looking for. Perhaps to focus on those, for most of you would be 40 hours, making most of those 40 hours first, and how to do it. Either perhaps finding a better paying job, perhaps increasing your education qualifications, perhaps that's a better approach, increase those. And from there, there's definitely a plan there, how we can approach that. But the reason why I'm sharing this, if at any point you would need to go to a job interview, and that would be one way how to increase your monthly income, you at least would know how to prepare for a job interview. Thank you. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.